Good afternoon. Whoop, there we go. Good afternoon, Shaggy SoCal Tool for Forza and new season of Thursday Night Thunder. And for the season, we are racing the 2021 Audi RS6 Avant. We're going estate racing or wagon racing, or however you want to call it. All I know, this sucker is big, it's heavy, it doesn't want to turn. But first two races this week, I think we're getting courses out of the way that I don't think this car will do particularly well at compared to some of the other circuits for the season. We're going to start off here at the Hakone circuit, the club reverse. The other one will be the Road Atlanta short circuit. So typical track guide format. I'm going to go out here on medium tires and just run a few laps just to kind of get in rhythm a little bit, talk a little bit about what the car's doing, what I'm trying to do with it. Then do kind of maybe a slower track walk, get a little more in detail as far as what I'm looking at, what I think the car is going to do, what I'm trying to do with it, lap over lap. And then, because I do need to practice my questionable racecraft, I'll throw a mock race together with approximate race length. Again, I don't factor the bucket delays in, just to try and get a sense of how long the race is, and that'll also help out what tire strategies are available to us, which are actually, they're depending on the number of laps, there may be two. But let me go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and just run some laps here just to warm up. Lots of tire smoke. Okay, well, I like starting off on standing laps, not flying laps. So, Audi RS6 Avant, it is all-wheel drive, it is almost 4,000 pounds. I think it was like 800 pounds. I'll actually do a quick check, but I think it's like 800 pounds heavier than the Falcon we were just in, and over 1,000 pounds heavier than the Porsche from the season before that. So first turn, again, cold tires. I made the joke that it handles like a front-wheel drive hatchback. Then, I was kind of reminded that technically you could say it is a hatchback. It's an elongated hatchback. But yeah, the back end does like to step out. Whoop, third gear. Find the red, look for the corner worker stand there. Down the hill. I'm taking a much different line than what the game recommends. Whoop. But it'll be better than that, I think, once this is why I warm up. And this is the turn that's just going to cause me issues. So that last turn might be more of what not to do than what to do. But it's half the fun of the track guides. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Okay, down to fourth gear here. Back end, again, didn't quite get the car slowed down. The back end started to step out. Third gear here. Try to hug the inside, which I'm not doing. So fine, the car pushes wide, it pushes wide, just deal with it. Brake just past the 150 board. Down, I'm going down to third just to help get the car turned in. Roll back into the throttle. Be careful of track limits right there. That will bite you. Didn't bite me that time. Now let's see if I do this a little bit better. Turn in about the 150. Get the red, off the white, off the throttle. Balance, balance, balance. Roll back in. Fifth gear. Give yourself wiggle room out here because this car does not like outside curbs. It will get it to step out. So let me do one more lap to see if I can actually do it halfway decent. Gear. Still fourth. Turn it in. Look for the white. There. Good. That's better. just a little wide, so just use the curbing. And went turn it in for that last corner a little early. Halfway decent lap. All right, so let's take the slow track walk here. So depending on the tire compound, didn't quite get my braking done. Don't hit the. Nice echoey through the front stretch here. So for me, down the front stretch here, I'm looking, and again, tire compound will make a huge difference under braking as far as how late you can brake. But like mediums and hard tires, I'm going to be braking just past the 150 board, not quite to the 100. Mainly, what I'm looking for here on the left is where the left side pit wall kind of angles, angles left, and starts opening up the apron there on the first turn. Um, so I'm trying to brake. I'll look for the 150 board, but I'm going to brake right before the wall kind of juts to the left here. So brake, 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 brake. For me, this is fourth gear turn. Bit of a late turn in. What I want to be looking for is to get the car to the apex. I'm kind of looking where, again, you have the nice kind of greenish color and you have the white, the painted areas. So I'm trying to get the car to the apex right about where this first white section ends and it goes back green. So about here for me is about the apex to get to the curb. Depending on how much speed, more often than not, again, because the front's going to give up pretty easily on this car. If it pushes wide and I just start to skitter across to the full inside, so be it. I'll work with it. Ideally, coming off this, kind of cross over, maybe get to midpoint, and be a little bit close to mid track. Maybe more often than not, I'm going to be probably all the way to the inside, which is what the game. I almost think the game just took the racing line from the normal version and just kept that same line and just pointed the arrows the other way because I don't. For me, I look at this. I wouldn't go necessarily all the way to the inside to set up for this next left-hander because it's not really a long enough straight. It's not a long straight here, and it's an immediate turn. I'd almost rather be off the left side a little bit so that I can maybe take a little bit later of an apex, carry a little bit more speed through. So ideally for me, I might be about here. Braking for the next corner, fourth gear is about, you can kind of see where the ridged curving ends and it goes smooth. And you also see a lot of extra, it gets darker at that point where people put tires on the curbing. I'm kind of using that to gauge where I'm going to brake, but it will be drop down to third. Drop down to third, get the car to the inside, and I want it to the curbing by the time I get to the transition from the white to red on the inside of the tarmac, on the other side of the curb. Try to hug the inside as much as I can. Roll back into the throttle. I don't have a definitive place where I'm like, I can commit back to the throttle. It's mostly done by feel. Again, how much is the car sliding off the corner? Am I pushing early? But the moment I know I can go full throttle is the car's going to be mostly out of the turn. I'm starting to open the steering back up to go straight because the car does understeer. Bring the car out. So third gear, maybe up to fourth. Setting up for the left-hander onto the back straight. For me, I'm braking a little bit past the 150, pretty much where the inside tarmac transitions from the solid green to the white and green pattern. That's kind of what I'm keying off of to go, to get to the brakes. Fourth or fifth gear down to third, and I'm trying to get my braking done as late as possible and release it just as the inside curbing starts to go out of view. So that's the point where I want to be releasing the brakes, turn the car in, and I'm aiming to apex the car where the green transitions to red. I want to get the car to the curbing here because it's a late apex out, and then try to get my eyes up as soon as possible to spot the corner workers standing in the porta potty there on the right side of the circuit. So if I can get my eyes up on that, and I can point the car towards that, getting off the apex. One, I'm a little bit tighter at this point, The track limits here are, at least in my previous practicing, it's like if I'm getting track penalties, it's because I pushed a little too wide and I've clipped over the curbing, and I've gone over track limits here on this. In fact, let me see if I can cross over. Yeah, so you get too far over there. So I don't know where that invisible track limit line comes across the track for this turn. But if so I'm trying to avoid clipping that transition uh, point, getting onto the back straight. So third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, and I'm going to just pause here a second because I do want to. This is where I think what Forza is recommending for this car may not be the best way through, but at least for my own, at least the line I'm taking. Who knows? Maybe I'm doing something wrong, and what they're recommending is the best way through. But let's talk about that. Let me actually turn the full line on. Okay, so coming down the hill, and I'm going to stop it about here. All right, so you can see they're trying to get you, or at least the game is recommending taking a later turn in for the chicane. Go through the first part, through the second part of the chicane. This car, just by its nature, is not. Again, I think we have front downforce, but we don't have rear downforce. Um, it's even though it's all-wheel drive, it's almost 4,000 pounds. A lot of the weight's in the front. The second you try to, I guess, if to do the short version, this car, I don't think, if I'm using the terms right, this car does not trail brake well. Where I'm going to try to brake and turn the car in for the corner. When I'm, at least my own experience, as I'm getting onto the brakes, the car is going to want to go straight. So to try and follow that line through, I'm having problems doing it. So what I'm tending to do is, as I'm coming down the hill, and it'll depend on how fast I'm going, depends on the tire I'm on. But as I'm getting to the 150, somewhere to the 150 and the 100, I'm actually going to start to turn the car in early. And what I'm aiming for, the couple of things I'm looking for is where the white paint on the inside curb turns to red, and then you can see the curbing for the first part of the chicane, and you can see the white paint on the inside of that curbing. So one, where transitions from white to red is where I'm probably going to brake at. Soft tires, I'll probably brake a little closer to where the curbing starts, but I'm trying to get the car slow down fairly straight so that I can release the brakes as I'm getting to that point where it goes from white to red on the inside paint. That's what I'm trying to do. May not always do it. So down here, brake, 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 brake. So at this point, I'm firing it in, so I'm going to be braking mostly in a straight line, not a lot of turning. So it's going to keep the back end in check while I'm on the brakes, and then hopefully when I release, I can then roll back into the throttle, get some weight on the back of the car to kind of get it through the first part of the chicane. It just means I'm going to be carrying a lot of entry speed in doing it this way, um, and sacrificing mid corner where I'm at the apex, and then, but hopefully, if I do it right, the car should be kind of set well enough that by the time I'm on this inside apex curbing here, and I'm trying to transition it to the second part of the chicane, I'm to a point where I'm using the throttle then to balance the car through the rest of it. I'm much more comfortable doing that than trying to brake balance. So if I do it right, brake, release here, maybe get on the curb a little bit, hopefully, and then you can see I'm kind of now rejoined what the recommended line is, but I'll probably be off of it a little bit. More often than not, I'm probably going to push all the way to the right side. But at this point, it's just balancing with the throttle, let the car do the work. Maybe get on the curbing here, you know, bring it out, setting up for the last couple of corners. These last two corners, I am just having a hell of a time trying to figure out the best line through it. Because if you look at the map, it's a little bit of a kink to straight line braking, and then we get to the last corner, which is really a decreasing radius turn. So you want to take it wide and take a late apex out onto the front straightaway. But this car doesn't like exit curbing all that well. So if you get a little too far and you drop tires off in the curbing, the back end's just going to step out, and you're just going to be perpendicular to the track. You just got to get it slowed down, get it stopped and turned. So what I'm trying to do is, I don't know. We'll see how I do in the race or when I get into rhythm. I'm trying not to go all the way to the left because I'd rather ideally be a little bit more towards mid-track so that when I set up for this turn, I can roughly hit the brakes here and see on this, in following this line again, because when I get onto the brakes, the cars are going to want to go straight. So I'm trying to find the line that's going to allow me to brake in a straight line and not risk the car going off. So that's where I might want to be a little bit wider and take a different line in than what the game is suggesting, because, and again, it's not so much that the line is wrong, I just don't think the line works well for this car. So I want to try and get an angle where I can brake in a straight line through here, have the car come out to the outside, probably be in fifth gear at this point, get it to about here. And this is the other part I'm still trying to balance out, is I'm kind of trying to gauge it off the inside curbing as far as getting the braking done to set up for the second part of the corner. So I'm going to brake in a straight line here, give myself some room on the outside so that I'm not dropping tires. Brake again, bring the car out, avoid that curbing, try and stay off of it as much as I can, because again, we're cresting a hill. We're not getting any help from the track. The track's like, no, screw you. We're gonna make you crest a hill and turn the car left in a car that doesn't like turning and likes the back end, likes to step out. So good luck. But probably fourth gear, probably need to drop it down to third. And then I'm aiming, for me, trying to find the apex. You can see the cherry blossom tree, but then the light pole that's just past that. That's about where I think the apex is, or at least to get a visual like marker. Like, okay, if I can aim for that and have that kind of, spatial awareness of where that is, then I can bring the car back, try to get it back to the inside curbing, balance the throttle, and then nail it out. Hopefully not go too wide on the exit, but that's what I'm trying to do. If there is one set of turns that I'm consistently inconsistent, it is those two. But again, we're in a 4,000 pound car that has barely any front downforce out on it, and has a very loose back end when you lift off the throttle. So it is what it is. We're all going to be dealing with it. I think the nice thing is that if you miss your braking, or you've carried a little too much speed in, the car is it's not going to snap on you. It's just going to push. And so you just got to have to deal with what the car gives you. But that's a Hakone Club Reverse. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to just take a quick drink here. I'm going to do an experiment because I've been playing around. I let the stream run on Thursday, and I didn't seem to get the bit rate issue once we got past 45 minutes into the stream. So I'm actually going to try leaving it on the entire time and hopefully not get the whole huge pop and crackle. So we'll do that, but I'm going to take a quick drink. I want to set up for the mock race for what I think we're going to be doing, and then we'll see how good my racecraft is. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out of here. We're going to go ahead and quit race. Okay. We'll go ahead and reset up. So if you want to practice against the AI on your own, here's what I'm doing to set this up. So we are going to go into the Audi. Okay, so I'm going to do circuit race, race length, Hakone Club Reverse, number of laps. I'm taking a stab. That's too many. It's going to be somewhere around 30 to 32 laps. It depends. I don't know what the bucket delays are going to be yet. So I'm just kind of going off of the lap times I was running. Again, we'll do random because I want to see what we have here. I'm still going to set this to random, and I think we still set dynamic track rubber to 20 to start. 4 times time scale. We want all the driver tires, maximum difficulty. Driver tire design is on because we want to show off Rodeo's design work. Okay, sport luxury, and again, I'm going to set the max performance index at 825 so that, I don't know what the sport luxury division maxes out at anyway, but I just figured if I cap it at 825, that gives the AI maybe a little bit more performance to balance it out. So I do want to set it to Audi, and I do want to specifically put it to make Audi. There we go. Just had to reset that because I want everybody in the same car. Rules, sport rules. We are doing 5X tire. Standing start, we're going to go random. And I am actually going to set the mandatory pit stops 2 for this so that everybody at least does 2. It's probably going to be a 3-stopper. Excuse me, that was rude. Let's go ahead and hit that. Say, okay, accept these options. Okay, what do we get for Hakone? No, I'm not going to do rain or wet. Not for this. But tell us about Hakone. I didn't time that right.
On the backside of the Hakone Club reverse layout, use the hotel as your visual cue to stay far left and not to let off the power, because it's a great place to overtake cars out of position.
Okay, why does my car not meet event restrictions? Let's go event setup. We'll still do it morning, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you to switch the. No, we're gonna Forza try again. Random. 108.25 Sport R6 Avant. That's all right. Sport rules. Yep. What do you mean my car does not meet the event restrictions? Stupid Forza. 800, 825. Hang on. That. Sport luxury. Audi. 24, that's fine. 52,000. 2,000. Yeah, that's all fine there. I don't know why it's Yep, thank you. Doing Forza. I ran this last night and you didn't give me any problems. Ugh. Oh, there we go. Is 800. Okay, well, I'm going to hopefully, yeah, that looks like Voodoo's setup. Okay. Fuel and tires. So again, because this car is really, really heavy and it's all-wheel drive, for Hakone, the guesstimates as far as 60% will hit soft, medium, and hard at 5, 7, and 9 laps. So in a 30, roughly 30 lap race, it's at least a 3-stopper. But again, you have some options. You can run a stint on the hard tire compound and then finish the race all in mediums. Or if you want to try and pit fast lap, maybe you run the race on hards, but then just do one of your stints on the soft tire. So I think those are the 2 prevailing strategies, at least based on what little I know. But then again, I'm not always that smart with the strategy part of setting up. Just put fuel in the car, put my tires on, let me go drive. But the other thing to keep in mind is, again, if we run any more than 27 laps in this race, you don't have enough fuel. So you are going to have to figure fuel economy, or you figure your fuel mileage out. So maybe at that point, maybe you run light right off the start, or figure, hey, maybe I do my first stint on hards and do the second stint on softs, playing your laps out there, and then figure out what you got to fill up with. So I think for me, I'm just gonna let's see, what am I gonna run today? Just for kicks and giggles, I think, just because I want to get practice on the hard tire compound, I think I'll run hard tires the entire time. But let's actually that up and do, we're going to run softs to start. Let me figure this out. So if I do the 5 laps there on the 30, so that's 26 that I need, then I would just fill it. And that should give me more than enough. So just to make it easier. So start with what I need on the softs. And then we'll just tanker up at the pit. So, all right, I'm going to commit to start on the softs to start. So that'll be 5 laps to start it off and then run hards the rest of the way. And start race. Let's go. Am I starting towards the back? Starting at the very back. Good. I don't have to drop back. Ah. Oh, hello. I don't know why I didn't notice that until now, but let's turn that off. I'm going to go in traffic, so I'm going to be a little conservative here. It's a little early of a turn in for that final corner, so it's going to push me wide. All right, let me just help straighten you out a little bit.
Total time penalty is about a second.
Yeah,
Total
that's
time
fine.
penalty is about a second.
I heard you the first time. I know it's just the game telling me the time for the individual penalty and then the cumulative, so I'm sure I'm going to rack up a few more before I'm done. Uh,
Total time penalty is about 2 seconds. Total time penalty is about 2 seconds.
She is giving total time penalty both times. Why are you telling me twice? I turned in a little bit earlier there, but well, Why are you check braking there, drivatars? Me. If I can time the hit the gas with the little poof fireworks there that seem to happen every lap. I gotta remember I gotta box this lap. There's minor tire wear. Push, 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 push. Thing is, pit is easy in, easy out for the most part. Okay, hard tires, custom, 100%. We'll see. When I was doing a test race the other night, the first time out of the pits, it released me straight, and I was doing this on controller, but then the subsequent pits, you know, the car was lurching to, like, the car was lurching to the left. So we'll see what it does here. Okay, pretty straight there, that's fine. Just brake, hold the inside, remember you're on cold tires. Then you're back up to speed. So we'll see what happens on the next couple of pits, whether the steering lurches, you know, whether the car lurches to the left when we get released. Nice run, but the one thing with taking the straighter line in is you might be able to sneak underneath somebody going into that corner, but that gap could close a lot quicker. I'm going wide. That gap could close a lot quicker than you expect it to. It would not surprise me to see people kind of, you know, running into each other there. Pushing wide, it's fine, just gonna let it. It's gonna go wide, it's gonna go wide. There's gonna be a lot of crossover passing with this car. Grip, grip, where are you? Go to lap 14 roughly. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There There'll be the time penalty. Oh, nope, not that time. A little bit late. And paying for it now. I imagine some of us will be very frustrated with this car by the end of the season. Darby taking a look. I'm late. Sorry, I'm not on the soft tires. Brake earlier for that chicane. The thing too, I mean, technically it's all-wheel drive, but if you feel the back end start to step out, just tromp the gas and let the front pull the car out of the slide. Push, just work with it. There's a time penalty.
Total time penalty is about 2.5 seconds.
Yep.
Total time penalty is about 2.5 seconds.
Did the first time. It's kind of decent. I think I'm still a little bit early into the last corner. See if I can do this right. Push a little bit, that's fine. Just one wide again. It's not a flowy finesse track kind of car. That was halfway decent. Maybe I can get, let's see. I thought it was 9 laps when I was racing the other night. Maybe that's the difference between controller and wheel. I might be able to get a little bit more out of it. Maybe revising my tire estimates. There's 9 laps. So then, yeah, then it's back to the old formula of, oh, that's pushing wide. It's because I can't think and drive at the same time. Where 5 laps on the soft, 10 laps on the hard, and the mediums are somewhere in between. So let's do a 10th lap. We'll go one more. But it is about 10 laps. But this lap's going to be super sketchy because I want to get the moderate probably right about here. Now, the moderate at this point, this chicane is no grip whatsoever. I'll brake a little bit earlier just to get the car slowed down. So what we'll do is we'll do one more stint on the hards, and we'll finish off on the medium. 26. This will get me to 36. I'll pit at the end of lap 36. Wait. Ah. So I can't do math in my head. We're on 26. We'll do. Well, no, we'll finish the race. Right. We're on lap 26. 27. I might have been able to get away with, oh, we're only at 17. So this is where I can't do math in my head. So yeah, we'll pit at the end of lap 27. We're end of lap 26. And then we'll do mediums. That should get us the rest of the way. And in theory, I could go back on the softs because there would only be 5 laps left. Maybe go back to softs. Wide. As soon as you get to the brakes, the car does not just whatever little turning it's doing, just it stops. When you hit the brakes, it's like, nope, gonna go straight. What we do here again. Again, just not being aggressive with the throttle until I know I'm out of the chicane. So even in the middle of it, nope, gonna go wide. At some point I'll get that turn figured out. And part of it's the tires, because, you know, I'm on the lowest grip tires right now. That's certainly not helping. By 2/10, that's good. A little bit early there. I'm kind of pinching the exit. I'm not letting the car go all the way out. I'm all focused now. Probably still a little bit shallow, but it's the line I'm most comfortable with given the nature of this car under braking. It's my comfort level with this car under braking. Box this lap. Oh yeah, understeer a little bit there. We'll drop in, get soft tires, skip. Make it below ground on Jay Cotter. Hope that if he put on softs, they should wear out before mine do. If he's on mediums, I should have the advantage. That's why you need to stay off the curbs. Yep, noted. Let's see if I can catch Jason here. I gotta stop watching the car in front of me and not follow them. It's the driver tires are taking the suggested line, and I'm not comfortable out there. See if I can get these two on this last lap here.
Final lap.
There's one. I expect driver charge to do that little check brake when they get on the back straight here. For whatever reason. 3, 2, 1, brake check. There it is. Thank you. I'll take that. Wide. Maybe not. Salvage that one. There's 60%. Again, I'm glad we're starting with the flowy high-speed track because at least we can get the struggle bus out of the way there. But that's Hakone Club Reverse in this Audi R6 Avant. It really is just going to be about balance. Trying to keep the balance of the car and keep the back end in check. It'll be, again, first race is always fun. Just because we're all still trying to figure the car out. But I'm going to take a short break, and I'll come back and I'll do the other flowy high-speed course for the season, which is Road Atlanta Club. Should be another, again, glad we're getting both of these are paired up together, get them both out of the way early. So hope you're having a good Saturday so far. Happy racing. I'll see you soon.